Hi folks, welcome to another episode of our AM2R playthrough. We are going to be covering some ground in this episode.
Yeah, we're going to get out of the spooky spaceship.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Are we in a spaceship?
I don't think we're in a spaceship. I think it's fair to call this like a base of some kind.
Yeah, it's some sort of scientific base.
Yeah, it all goes down, right? It's like you submerge further and further into science.
Science.
It's like, imagine if Samus just, like, wandered into an Aperture Science lab.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Samus going up against, like, GLaDOS?
Samus would just take GLaDOS down like nothing.
Yeah, that would not be a problem.
I would just love the interactions, only because, like, Samus is sort of like Chell, and just wouldn't, like, respond to any of GLaDOS's crap.
Yeah.
No, Samus would respond as, like, are you enjoying the neuroblast?
Oh, yeah, she would totally blow up the planet by the end of it, and GLaDOS would be no more.
Yeah, Samus only speaks through her guns.
And her computer.
Well,
did you guys use the bomb spread very often in this game?
what are you talking about?
Like I'm not sure what the official name is, but the
It's like that thing where you charge up the bombs and then you go down and then you go into the ball, or like you charge up your blaster and then you go into the ball and it makes like 5 bombs.
yeah,
spread.
yeah, that's it.
No, I use that. I only ever really used that like accidentally.
Yeah, I don't think it has like an actual. I mean, there might be certain items that you have to use that to get through some parts, but I don't think I actually had to use it for like any any parts where like the game like makes you use it to progress.
Yeah, I don't think there are that many points in kind of any Metroid game where like you really have to use them, or have to use that particular skill.
Yeah.
Anyways, here we get our underwater level, everyone's favorite.
Down, down, down to the bottom of the sea.
What is that, Jordan?
SpongeBob.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you move super slowly because it's water.
Until you get, like, the gravity suit and say, fuck water.
Yeah.
Well, listen, no spoilers.
Right, yeah, is there a gravity suit? Find out
How are
next
we gonna
time.
get out of this water? I don't know.
Samus is in a pickle.
Oh my god. Oh no, a running thing. You can't run fast enough. How will we get out of this situation?
You can't go fast. This is Sonic's worst nightmare.
Oh, this is absolutely Sonic's worst nightmare. I
I mean,
don't
it's
see
safe
any
to
air
say
bubbles
that
at all.
any watery area is probably Sonic's worst nightmare.
Well, no. I mean, like, Seaside Hill, he just runs on water.
That's true.
All right, let's see. Time for our obligatory Sonic trivia. The reason why Sonic eventually drowns in water and doesn't like water canonically is because Yuji Naka, when creating, when developing the character for the game, he misunderstood or read somewhere that hedgehogs do not like water, which isn't like a real fact, but he just took it and ran with it. No pun intended.
Nice. I mean, this was pre-Wikipedia days, so he would have had to go to a library, and he probably heard it and was just like, yeah, okay, that sounds right.
So, having a nice bubble bath there, Dan?
Yeah, these bubbles are Samus's worst enemy, if you can believe it. Nothing is as fearsome as those bubbles because you cannot kill them in any way.
Really?
It's kind of weird. Yeah, you actually you can't charge up a shot to take them out. You can't blow them up with regular or super missiles or bombs or super bombs. You just kind of have to run away from them.
Fear, Bubble Buddy.
Whoa there, this could be dangerous.
We're just gonna bring out all the SpongeBob references for this episode.
Yeah, I remember that episode vividly because I had a SpongeBob DVD as a kid, and that was Bubble Buddy was one of the episodes on it. So like,
this is like old school DVD sets where it's like pay $30 and get 4 episodes of this TV show.
Basically.
yep,
Yeah.
volume 1 out of like 38 for season 1.5.
Yeah, I did that with actually nothing, but I did spend a lot of money to buy 3 episodes of Trigun.
I did that for some. I did that for like some like shows I was like really into as a kid, like Yu-Gi-Oh and Beyblade, and Digimon and Pokemon.
Yeah, those shows really exploited that.
I had a couple of those Pokemon VHS tapes, and also that first, and also a Digimon one.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, like, you know, this is pre-DVDs, so it's not like there was actually a good way to get a whole season of stuff on home video, right? Like, VHSs are pretty expensive and can only hold a couple episodes per disc, and you couldn't get a box set because it took up so much space. I mean, you could technically get a box set, but yeah, I spent a lot of money on like Dragon Ball Z tapes, and also on bootleg Dragon Ball Z tapes.
Bootleg Dragon Ball Z tapes? What, did someone like record them on TV and just sell them?
Well, no. What you would do is you would go to Pacific Mall.
Oh, okay.
And you would get like stuff that hadn't come over to North America yet, with like really bad subtitles, but it was still cool because it was like, yo, here's the movie with Android 13, 14, and 15, and you're like,
well,
what?
Dude, that's what like BearShare and LimeWire were for.
Oh yeah, this was pre that. This would have been in like Napster days, so pre.
Oh, Napster.
Oh well, yeah, Napster. That's what I was thinking. I was like, there's one I can't remember. It's Napster.
Yeah, this would have been pre like easily downloadable video sort of stuff. Though also spending so much time watching animes episode by episode, waiting several hours for each episode to download.
Several hours? Like, some of them were just like basically impossible to download. It's like, this will download in like 3 years and it would never go anywhere.
Yeah, I remember waiting like days for some of them to finish.
I remember waiting forever to this day because of, like, some of them just would not download.
What, you still have a Napster window open on your computer?
Oh god, of course not. But it's like, you know how like some of them just would not download at all.
Oh yeah. Never forget. For our non-Canadian viewers, Pacific Mall is a mall in Toronto where you can pretty much get anything and everything.
It's in Markham.
Bootleg.
It's in Markham.
Oh, it's in Markham? Markham?
It's Markham, yeah.
Really? I thought. Okay.
I've been there like once.
It's been a very long time. Oh, it might be Markham. Yeah, it's been a very long time since.
Yeah, I think it's Markham.
Yeah. It's on the outskirts.
It's somewhere far, far away in Ontario.
Yeah, and you would get. It's not actually that far. It's outside of Toronto, probably, I don't know, 40-minute drive from Toronto or something.
Yeah.
But I lived in Thornhill growing up, which is a suburb, also about half an hour from Toronto, which even Markham is kind of far from. So it was a big trip every time. But Pacific Mall was a place where you would go to get bootleg anime DVDs, Gundams, and movies that were currently in theaters on DVD for very, very cheap.
And as a child, or like, you know, while being younger, morality didn't really come into play in terms of like pirating things. So, you know, I didn't really ever clue in that, hey, maybe this is wrong.
Yeah, well, look, also, there, like, my parents were like, yo, we gotta go to Pacific Mall. I just went to Pacific Mall. I bought 10 movies for $20. Yeah.
Wait, 10 for 20? You got hustled. You get 10 for, like, $2.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, so it's not like our parents, who should have known better. It's not like my parents were ever like, I don't know about yours, but mine were never like, this is wrong, you shouldn't do this. They were like, heck yeah, look at all this. Like, my dad was the one who showed me how to download music off of a computer.
Wait a second, so all this pirating that our generation's doing now is all our parents' fault.
It's all our parents' fault. Like everything, it's the baby boomers' fault.
Yeah, all I have to say is, do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Okay, that was topical. Hey, speaking of something that's topical, that's not going to be topical when this episode goes out, the Metroid 30th Twitter account, they're promoting the this Metroid Historia thing. They're trying to get a
wait, what?
They're trying to get it's a hashtag that's trending right now for the Metroid Historia to be made, sort of like the Hyrule Historia, but
I mean, that's never
Metroid.
gonna happen.
Nope.
Well, I mean, technically we already have, I don't think Metroid needs a Historia, because we technically know when everything happens.
I mean, also, you could argue that you know, the Historia was really just an excuse to have a bunch of really nice art in a book, because the idea of actually putting together a timeline of Legend of Zelda, Nintendo cares way less than fans do about trying to put some sort of canon together. I'm actually surprised they even did it, to be honest. But it's a good like art book, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think an art book for Metroid would be great.
The thing about the Hyrule Historia, though, was like Zelda had a very ambiguous canon, and so anybody who was like interested in that sort of thing, it was a sort of a worthwhile thing for them to do. When it comes to Metroid, it's kind of not worth it, because we already know when roughly every single thing in the Metroid series happens chronologically, because it goes like the original Metroid, and then like a whole like Metroid Prime, then eventually basically almost everything happens at some point between like Metroid and Metroid 2, because there are Metroids still around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing with the Zelda Hyrule Historia is that you're right that Zelda has an ambiguous canon, because it's almost like the people who make Zelda don't give a shit at all, and maybe everyone should just stop worrying about it.
That's crazy, Dan. They spend like years developing that shit. That's why there's so much time in between each Zelda game. They got to figure that out.
I wonder how much Breath of the Wild is going to screw that up.
Not at all. Just stop caring about things. Stop caring about the canon of things that don't have a canon. Anyways, yeah, this guy fucking pops out of nowhere. What makes this one tricky is that the electric bombs that we've been sort of bombing around ourselves, as we've been discussing very important things, they also, like, deactivate your weapons.
Oh, that's right.
While you're in them, so you have to, like, be real tricky about not blowing those things up.
I was gonna ask, because I was just like looking at him like, your health's not going down, is it?
Yeah, no, it only affects your weapons. It stops
okay.
you from being able to shoot or do anything, really. So, yeah, pretty dangerous in this interesting...
So it's an EMP.
Sort of sideway. Yeah, it's an EMP, exactly. Which you can use, and I think you might have seen this earlier on, but you can use that on the those bomb enemies that you shoot and then they explode into all these like big energy ball things. You can use that to just deactivate them instead, which you will see me do later on as I very nearly die, but do not actually die. Otherwise, this is like the same thing as this Metroid.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I could be totally wrong because maybe I'm misremembering it, but I think like so far, like the latter half of this game is basically original, because I don't remember any of the shit from the original Metroid 2.
Yeah, I would totally believe that. Even like the things like, so yeah, this section of the game we have all these sort of little mini puzzles about getting these bombs onto these holders, and that will unlock doors and stuff. And that just does not seem like a thing that would have been in a Game Boy game, you know?
Oh god, no. Do you have any idea like how much of a heart attack the Game Boy would have had?
Yeah, exactly.
Slow
it's
down.
Just like too much physics.
Too much physics.
Too much physics. Doesn't have the memory for that shit.
Wow, you really wanted to destroy that wall.
That's right. Take out the whole wall. I don't mince words, or bombs, for that matter.
Yeah, we should make mention again that, like, those Metroids are pretty formidable. Like, Dan went into it with a full 6 health bar. It came out with, like, 2.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what I love the most about this game, because it's just like, in any other game, like, these would have been just, like, you know, eventually we be tough the first few times, and they just be, like, run-of-the-mill enemies, but every single Metroid can kill you, and it feels like its own boss fight every single time.
Yeah, it really does.
It's definitely that. And it also feels like, I guess, you know, Metroid games do make the game... There's a really interesting thing. Do you guys ever watch, not the PBS Idea channel, but their, like, video game offshoot? I forget what it's called.
What?
But it's like a YouTube thing. You ever watch PBS Idea channel?
I did watch PBS Idea, yeah. But their video game spin-off?
Yeah, so they ended up making an offshoot that was just about video games. And there's some cool stuff on there. I haven't dug into it as much as I probably should, but there's a really great episode I saw of that about like difficulty in video games and how a lot of games don't actually ask you to get better at them. They actually just become easier over time because they offer you like, oh, now you have 20 missiles instead of 5, or like now you have all of these offensive attacks that you didn't have before. This is coming real down to the wire, but
Oh my god.
yeah.
I looked away for a second.
This is a little clever. So you're here and you just don't want to die before you get to a safe point, and so you got to think like, man, what am I gonna do here? These things are gonna explode and kill me. But if you're clever, what you can do is what I do here, which is that you can plant that electric thing in the middle, and then blow it up, and then that will just cause them all to disable without shooting their things. Boom, done.
Well done, good sir.
Nice.
But you can see that I was ready to bolt, because that could have gone really bad. Anyways, so one thing that this game does that's really nice in terms of that difficulty thing is like Metroid games do give you more resources, and they do sort of become easier over time in that they give you more missiles, more, you know, they start giving you like more methods of movement, super missiles, super bombs, these sorts of things. But all of those Alpha Metroids are still a threat regardless of those things. Like they never do so much that those things become like simple or easy.
Yeah.
They're always still
and
difficult, even as you get more used to their patterns, and partly because you get used to more of their patterns. Yeah, I don't know.
Good point.
And honestly, like I think that like, and it's why like when I finished the original the original version on on my 3DS for the Game Boy, I was like, this is the scariest Game Boy. This is like the scariest game I've played in a very long time, and it's a black and white Game Boy game. Mm-hmm. And honestly, a lot of it comes like from the music to like the atmosphere to the tension of just every Metroid just being out to get you and being very capable of killing you, no matter what stage it's in at any point in the game. Like that's really, it has like a lot of tension in a way that I just don't feel in a lot of games anymore.
Yeah.
I was looking up the PBS Idea channel thing. I don't know if it has I don't know if the video game episodes have like a specific name, because I can't seem to find that. But
well, so it's not like it's a different channel entirely. It just is another PBS channel.
Oh, I see.
Let me see if I can find this thing.
Okay. Anyway, in the meantime, on the map we see like these yellow Triforce triangles. Those are elevator access points, or well, like transport access points. You morph ball into them, and you can transport to another. I think not only another section within this subworld, but like anywhere on the overall world map, if I'm not mistaken. Depending on the elevator.
Yeah, they do warp you to a couple other spots on the map for sure. The channel is actually just called PBS Game Show.
Run.
PBS Game Show.
It's like PBS Game /show, and it uses very much the same format as Idea Channel, but is video game specific, which is kind of cool.
Okay, I'll have to look this up. Oh, apparently it was canceled in 2016, last summer.
Oh, it was? Okay.
That's what I'm seeing on this Reddit forum. Could be wrong.
I would believe that.
2016 claims another victim.
Oh, PBS Idea Channel is still going strong. Another thing that I have not watched for a very long time. I haven't watched a lot of YouTube channels that I used to watch religiously. I sort of stopped. Not because they became less interesting, but just because like I ran out of time.
The screw attack. Samus can now say screw you.
Wah, 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 wah. The screw attack is great and gives you extreme powers over these stupid bomb things, which is great. You can just run right into them.
Screw you, robots.
It is. Yeah, and they give you a whole room to just be like, here you go, fuck them up.
Yeah, those things are incredibly annoying, especially when you like set a handful of them off. There's no escaping their wrath.
Yeah, they're a really interesting enemy, though, actually. Like, it does change the tone of your exploration a little bit, because suddenly you have to go through these areas, like, actually pretty slowly, and you have to, you know, spend some time taking cover, and then also figuring out how to make sure your, like, bombs that you're trying to transport aren't exploding. It's quite masterful, in fact.